Hello there, disc golf people, and today I'm taking a look at a newish disc from a newish company, and that company is Divergent Disc. I've only ever thrown one of their discs in the past, and that was the Kraken that came in the Infinite Disc budget box that I bought back last year in the fall, I believe, and it was pretty decent disc, nice feeling plastic, understable driver, and their whole thing is catering to like beginner to intermediate players, so am I their target market? No. But with this disc, I thought it was worth checking out. So the one I've got here is the Divergent Disc Alpas, and that means like to break free in the language of the Philippines. And this is like a putt and approach disc in very interesting silicone-like plastic. If you've seen like the silicone silly pint glasses or even like some of the bowls and stuff they sell at IKEA, like it's super gummy, feels like it'd be very durable, and like the flight plate is much thicker and sturdier than the rubbery plastic they use for the elevation disc, like the Koi and the Interceptor. It feels like some of those feel like they could just be like punctured with a pencil, and they probably could be. This one's a little more durable. You could puncture it, I feel like, but you'd have to try. It's got a really low profile, slightly understable leaning, and I believe this one is compression molded rather than injection molded because there's no stipple or injection points anywhere on the disc. So it's probably done in a manner similar to the Elevation or even Vibram rubber disc in the past. And it feels really nice. I don't have particularly long fingers, so the smaller rim feels good, but even small for me. Like I like a thin disc, but this is almost where I think a kid or smaller ladies might have the best luck gripping it. But I do feel like with the big push towards really floppy approach discs, especially I see a lot of people using blowflies, some old Mega Soft Westside and Latitude discs out there. That's me, I do that. And then with the Elevation Koi and Interceptor getting some play in people's bags for uneven approaches, and especially the really hilly courses around here, I see those every now and then. So I think there is a market for this even among slightly more experienced players, but I haven't gotten to throw it that much. So let's give it some tosses and see what we think. Okay guys, so I think we can kind of tell after those throws that the Alpas here is pretty understable. It's got a low enough wing profile on the outer edge here that makes it so that once it flips up, it doesn't really want to fade back. The only time I saw any fade was when it clipped a tree branch, so it kind of spun that way. I do like the feel. I think that for young players especially, and people who are just starting out with low to moderate power, it could be a great off the tee disc as well as potentially a chain hitting putter for newer players. I didn't try it for that today, but I could feel like for someone who is just starting out, it's a very viable option. I don't know if you could tell, but on the hyzer flip forehand, it flipped up from a pretty steep angle, turned all the way over, and it actually rolled home like all the way down to my neighbor's house at the bottom of the hill. It's like 400 feet away, so I didn't really think the disc this floppy could roll like that, but it did okay. And on the backhands, if you give it a lot of hyzer, it would still flip up to flat and do well. I did show the one like soft 150-foot approach shot going across the street there, and I think that's kind of where this shines. When you're not trying to throw it that hard or that far, it goes very straight and performs pretty well. So overall, I'd say it's a somewhat impressive offering in a untraditional material. I like the way it feels, the way it flies is great, especially for newer players. I don't think I'll bag it. It's so shallow that it's even hard for me to get a good grip on, and something that flippy, that is kind of a niche disc for more experienced players, isn't going to help me out too much. But for the right people, that could be really great. I believe the price on these is $17.99, so a little bit more expensive, but it also feels pretty indestructible. On that one where it flipped up and rolled, it actually rolled on asphalt for like 100 feet, and it shows virtually no wear to the rim. And then on the turnover backhand, it hit the steps to the front of my house about 280, 300 feet away. So the fact that I can't see any detectable wear, hardly at all, is really impressive. So I think these will do really well. And also it's soft enough to where, like, if you gave this to a kid to learn how to play disc golf with, they shank it, they hit something, it's probably not going to break a window or hurt anybody. And you could throw this pretty hard, and if it clips somebody's knee or something, it's probably not going to be terrible unless you throw very, very hard. So great option for kids that are learning the game. So good job to Divergent, and if you feel like that is something that you'd be into, give it a shot. Hope you guys had a good time watching, and have a great night.